Hi, I'll get started shortly. Just getting ready. We got, just got to get the actual Liveblog link up. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, I got this. All right, here's I'm going to put the link in the chat. It's like, there we go. All right, there we go. Took a minute. Hi, Mark. Good to see you again. Hi, Eric. Game is on Sportsnet here in Toronto, so you'll be watching. Great. McKenna charged with a crime. Yes. Hold on. Let me get you guys the information. Gavin McKenna has been charged with assault. Uh, he beat up a guy at a bar. He broke some guy's jaw at a bar. So not a great year for the guy who entered the year as the presumptive first overall pick. Um, he had since been passed on the chart by a couple of guys, and now he's facing an assault charge. Um, four charges in Pennsylvania. Um, the student paper, the Onward, what was it called? The student paper, the Onward State, reports that on January 31st, um, felony aggravated assault with attempts to cause serious bodily injury or causes injury with extreme indifference. If found guilty, McKenna faces up to 20 years in prison on the felony charge alone. And there are four charges. So there's misdemeanor simple, there's aggravated assault, misdemeanor simple assault, and two summary offenses. So not bad. Not good for Gavin McKenna. So yeah, if found guilty, Gavin McKenna faces up to 20 years in prison on the felony charge alone, and there are three other charges as well. I can't speak to obviously, um, you know, what he did. They said he broke somebody's jaw in a fight at a bar. So we shall see. We shall see with Gavin McKenna. But obviously, um, big news regarding the guy who entered the season as the likely first overall pick. He had since lost a little bit of luster. He's playing in Penn State right now. He left the WHL to go play at Penn State in the NCAA. That seems to not be working out very well for him, but we'll see what happens. Hi, Karen. Good to see you again. I'll mea culpa a little bit when more people roll up, but I will say I did think that Panarin was going to possibly go to the Canadiens. And Panarin traded to the LA Kings for Liam Greentree and a third round pick. And then Panarin signs a very nice 2-year, $11 million per year extension. So LA really make out like bandits on this one. That prospect is not really considered a particularly high end prospect. Panarin, of course, had a no trade clause and made it pretty clear that he would only waive it to a team that would provide him an extension. Um, I did say on this very show many times that I did feel like the Canadiens would be interested, just obviously because of the Jeff Gorton connection and because of what Gorton said about how it turned that franchise around. They were staring down a rebuild. Wait, Québec is the deuxième rang pour l'obtention d'une équipe expansion selon un sondage de l'Athletic. Ce n'est pas possible. I'm sorry, all. Uh, so the Athletic did what do I call it, a survey, and the Nordiques are the second, or the Quebec, sorry, I should say, is the second rank potential expansion city. I would love it. You would love it. There's no way in hell, as long as Gary Bettman is alive, that is happening. Seems lopsided. It definitely does. Hey, Mark, by the way. I mean, here's the deal. Panarin had no trade clause. He wanted an extension wherever he went. That severely limits the amount of suitors, and I think also allowed him to just pick the team he wanted to play for. And he wanted to go to LA. There was lots of rumors that he was going to be Florida or bust. But obviously, Florida's not looking like they're going to make the playoffs this year, so not a great opportunity for him. So I'm not surprised that the Kings um, are the team that Panarin decided that he would like to go to and sign an extension with. So the Canadiens will not. There will not be a Jeff Gorton Artemi Panarin reunion. The Athletic is not very reliable, in my opinion. I mean, I have a lot of good friends, who work there, including my predecessor, Julian McKenzie, who I'm still very good friends with. But I will say that the Athletic does a lot of content, and when you do a lot of content, when you do it by volume, occasionally some weird stuff gets in there, and I think Quebec as an expansion city is more on the side of wishful thinking than reality. Um, I think there was a somewhat legit chance in the Vegas Seattle days when they were plotting. If those had fallen through, if the Seattle arena had fallen through, I think they might have considered it. But nowadays, I think it certainly seems like Atlanta and Phoenix, Arizona, your two favorite NHL cities. I know all you guys love those two cities. Have once again decided that they want to be in the NHL business, and because those are such big cities, the NHL will not say no, and will allow some fool in both cities to pay $1 billion or whatever it's going to cost for an NHL team these days. Probably $1 billion and some change. And yeah, good for all of them. I stated they play the Devils. They actually play the Islanders. Oh my God, Bob! Thank you for catching that. Uh, I will go change that very quickly. Why did I think it was the New Jersey Devils? I guess I saw a new and then made a snap judgment. Hey man, Po Buddy's nerfed around here, right? Oh yeah, look at that. It did get weirdly cut off on my Google Calendar. Okay, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it. Give me a minute. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it right now. Hold on. Against the New York Islanders. Okay, it's changed, Bob. Give it 4 minutes and then refresh it, and then it'll be okay. Arpin Basu defended Montembeault. Lost all credibility with me. Oh, tonight feels, guys. I don't like this tonight with Struble and Montembeault. The Winnipeg Jets are not very good, and the Canadiens should beat them. And I feel like they've made this like a weird. They're making this way closer than it ought to be. Like the Canadiens should just put their best team, kick butt tonight, enter the break, kicking butt, and then they're not doing that. I don't know. I'm not happy about this at all. Ryan says McKenna punched out a guy chirping him in a bar. He was definitely acting his age, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I know. Was he just was it a little too strong the way that he? I mean, you're not allowed to punch people in the wild. I know sometimes people ask for it, but you're not allowed. I read that some guy was chirping McKenna's mom. No idea if that's true. Well, it did say that his families were there, which is weird because McKenna's not of drinking age in the United States. So I don't understand any of this. This all seems very bizarre. Uh, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for McKenna either way. Ryan says, "Hi Ryan, by the way. I just hope Struble doesn't fall on face skating backwards, leading to a goal." Yeah, he has not had a very good season. I think he's definitely positioned himself as a 7th, 8th defenseman in this league. Struble should be selling beaver tails because they're delicious? I don't understand. Or just saying that he should be selling food and not on the ice. Karen, hi Karen, by the way. We've chased Hellebuck out of the net numerous times. We can do this. I know they should honestly, even with Montembeault tonight, they should still beat this team. This is not a game that you should lose. Ryan says Quebec won't get a team until the Canadian dollar is even with the U.S. And if the Canadian dollar is even with the U.S., we might have a lot more problems in life than just where a hockey team ought to be placed. Bastu tried to claim this morning that the refs are not out to get us. I don't know enough. Not that I don't know enough, but I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like the refereeing is super uneven for non-partisan reasons. I just feel like it's just a hard game to ref, and the refs are not that good. Not that they're not that good, but it's just the game is very fast and hard. But I do say that the Canadians do chirp and then get a lot of penalties against them after they chirp. So we'll see how that goes. Darcy, hey Darcy, by the way. Jets have been playing better lately. Yeah, I mean, God, I can't believe they got off to such a terrible start. Didn't they win the President's Trophy last year? And then all of a sudden they lose Nikolai Ehlers or whatever, and then they can't play hockey anymore. I know they lost Hellebuck to injury for a while. Now he's back, but I don't get it. Karen says expect to lose, and if we win, it's a bonus. I feel like a lot of Habs fans, a lot of you that I interact with, I feel operate on that principle. So Arbor is sitting. Yes, Arbor is sitting tonight. Jaden Struble is in tonight. So I should also note that the trade deadline passed. The pre-break lines, the pre-break trade deadline. So, All right, here are the Canadiens' lines tonight. Same first line, same second line. Veleno, Evans, Bolduc, Anderson, Dino, Gallagher. It's the same. Matheson, Gooley, Hudson, Dobson, Struble, Carrier, and Montembeault in nets. I did expect Arbor to sit tonight, just like I expected Monty to play, and for the same reasons. The funny thing is, Xhekaj was only on the ice for 2 goals against in the last 6 games played. Yeah, I know. It's not hard to be on the ice for any goals against when you're not really on the ice. Don't the stats show, Karen says, that with certain refs we get way more penalties? I've seen some of those like outlines a little bit. It's possible. But it's hard to say if it's bias or just like unconscious bias. Unconscious bias seems probably like a bit closer to what it is. I don't know. Pierre thinks if the game's in Montreal, Suzuki gets the call. Is Chris Lee still around? Yes, Chris Lee is indeed still around. Doesn't do many Habs games, does he? Well, he still does some. Is Walcom still in charge of the refs? Yeah, I think so, no? Stephen Walcom. Sure is. The vice president and director of officiating. Walcom is indeed still in charge. Hello, Kelly. Let's see if Montembeault can find his mojo. Jets aren't the same threat this season, but they have some snipers, and they definitely have some guys that Habs fans do not like very much. Hello, Rick. Thanks for joining. Mark says, I have no problem if Dobesh went again tonight. He gets 3 weeks of rest after tonight. Yeah, I know. I'm not like, again, I feel like I'm like with you guys. I'm not surprised that Montembeault's playing, but I'm a little like, really? Need to shut down Shifley and Connor. Oof, easier said than done. Those two know how to score some goals, and they are both locked in long term in Winnipeg. Good for them, by the way. Good for Winnipeg. I know it's not the easiest place to convince guys to stay long term, but they've managed to convince them and Hellebuck. And honestly, I think they probably could have signed Ehlers long term if they had like treated him well, but I don't think that was like a great relationship. Ryan says my coworker thought Caulfield and Hudson made Team USA. He was floored when I told him they didn't. Yeah, I know. We'll see if that ends up being the right decision for Bill Guerin and Team USA. If they're 3-3 in overtime in a gold medal game and they can't score that winning goal, Cole Caulfield I think is gonna have a little grin on his face watching on TV. It's gonna be a long three. Hi Morgan, by the way. It's gonna be a long 3 weeks for Monty if he has a rough game tonight. I know. That's why I'm kind of like, why put him in? Why like subject? Unless you really feel like he's looking good. I just don't understand why you subject Montembeault to this tonight. It just feels like a lot can go wrong, in my opinion. I still say Kyle Connor would look great in a Habs jersey. Imagine him with Suzuki and Caulfield. No kidding. That would be. Who would be the scorer on that line? Connor or Caulfield? Connor's the. I mean, Caulfield's top 10 goal scorer in this league, and Connor might be better. That would be too. Suzuki would. It wouldn't matter who he passes to. It's a goal coming. Quite a dilemma Montreal has with Montembeault, a goaltender nobody in the league wants. Oh, I don't think that's true. I think in a league where goaltending is hard to find and teams will give some pretty lousy goaltenders many chances to get it right. I think Sam Montembeault will do just fine for himself, even if his future in Montreal is limited. Stats have shown Dobas has struggled after playing four in a row. Has he ever played four in a row before? Before now? Hey, judicious. Ridiculous to put in Monty. That seems to be. Check out my photo. Oh, did you send me a photo? Hold on. Did you send it to me on Twitter? You did. Oh, snap. I got. Can you see? Oh, you can't see. It's on my phone. I don't have my DMs on this computer, so I can't show you guys. But uh, Mark Talifer goes way back with Stephen Walcom, uh, and says that Walcom is not a Habs fan. Grew up not a Habs fan. Crazy. We always assume that these like guys who like grew up loving the Leafs, like Pizzetta, right? And he ends up playing for the Habs. But like once you kind of get to the show, it's like I just want to get in the show. I don't really care who I play for. Like I'm gonna play my ass off and get paid no matter where I go. I feel like Walcom's got to be like that too. Like, he's really still like a dealing with childhood grievances. I don't know. Maybe a Citizen Kane kind of thing or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really using that reference correctly. That's okay. Hi Max. He says I like Kyle Connor better when he had long hair. Yeah, me too. Me too. Morgan says Montembeault does have a Four Nations gold medal. Can you guys believe that Montembeault was considered the third best Canadian goalie last year, enough that he got into the Four Nations? Considering how he's played this year, it's like crazy to think. And yeah, Montembeault has won world championship gold too. He's at some point in his life he's been a very good goalie. Just this year, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Maybe Struble and Montembeault are being showcased to be traded after the break. I think people have seen enough of these guys that they kind of know what they're getting. Karen says, turn off the volume when the game starts. Hasn't started yet, has it? I'm still on RDS, still pregame. But you're saying that I should type more when the game starts. I will. I will do that. I will do that. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, exactly. Mark's saying that Walcom hated the Habs. Man, he's old now though. He shouldn't be so mad about the Habs, but he could be. Look, we know that Colin Campbell's got his is a supposed adult who has a bunch of grievances that he still takes to his job every day. So I guess it wouldn't be like out of the realm of possibility that Stephen Walcom is still bitter. Rick Wood says, I think Arbor's gone. You can't continue to cut time on ice every game. Max says, Struble and Xhekaj would probably be involved in a big trade. Any big trade that Montreal would make. Whereas Mark says, Arbor should just ask for a trade. No reason to stay here. Morgan says, Doc has quietly taken Texier's spot in the top line. I like it. Man, we have not heard that much about the Texier injury. What is the deal with Texier's injury? I don't know that much about it. Is the injury being that there are too many forwards? I feel like it's kind of a thing where there are too many forwards right now. Somebody's got to sit. He's not 100%, but if this were like, if we were later in the season, if he was more essential, I think you'd put him in. Yes, exact. Morgan, the injury, like Patrick Laine is injured at this point. Like, come on, he's been like practicing for like 3 weeks now. I think he's ready to go, but there's nowhere to put him. And I think under most circumstances, the PA would like crack down on these things pretty hard. But I think we're just so close to the break that they know that having a grievance about, one game before is not great. So Karen's adamant we are not trading Arbor. And Mark says that Stephen Walcom not only hated the Habs, he's a Bruins fanatic. Terrible. Terrible. Shouldn't be allowed outside, let alone to run officiating. Goat Caulfield says, looks like another home game for the Habs tonight. That's funny. Is David Reinbacher back in the lineup? Let me check. Do we got the game logs? No, he has not played since the 24th. Well, they play tonight. Maybe he's in tonight. Is he in tonight? No, he's not in tonight. Terrible. Yeah, he's number what, 64? No, I don't see him tonight. Terrible. That guy's made of glass. Reinbacher is it's very at this point, I am concerned. I am concerned. Habs fans are way too big on Arbors. The ceiling is third pair. Engstrom, Reinbacher, and Pickford have much more potential. Well, Reinbacher needs to play, which he's not doing. Engstrom's very good. I do worry that Engstrom is a little too samey to like. He's a maybe a bit too much on offense, and I think that the Canadiens defense needs a little bit of balance, which is why I think Xhekaj is like a special case and why they ought to keep trying to get him in the lineup because he brings like a physicalness and a defensiveness, but he's also like a good skater. He's got like a skills. I know his decision making is not great. Mark, I will say that Reinbacher does have a lot of potential. He just there's just a chance he may not reach it, but he's very talented. He's very talented, very good passer, very good stick, very big. He there's a lot of potential there. Like I understand why he was drafted where he was drafted, but so far injuries have not allowed him to be anything at all. And so, oh yes, Sammy Blake cleared waivers, so the he's still here. He's still got a chance to help this team out. They can call him up again. Explain why they got rid of a physical, aggressive player like Blake. Well, it's they're too many forwards. They've when everybody's healthy, there's 16 NHL forwards, and they need 12. So it's gonna be hard. Yeah, Reinbacher's good, but he never plays. I know that's and it's the Kirby Doc dilemma all over again, where you see Kirby Doc in these like little bits, and you're like, man, he could be a first line player, but like then he's gone for a year, and you're like, oh, well, you know, it's tough. And something like injuries is like you just don't know. You don't know, when the bad luck will dry out, if ever. There isn't something that like I don't know. I don't know if you're like genetically predisposed to all these injuries or if it's just like weird luck. I mean, the Gooley injuries are really weird. Gooley slashed his own knee. You know what I mean? Like really strange. Really strange. Yes, that hockey, Karen. Where was it that happened? It was very very sad. It was a car accident, right? Putting Blais on waivers now was smart. That's true. That was definitely a concerted effort to try to snake him through because teams are trying to make moves now. They were trying to make moves before the deadline. Doc has been pretty good. Mark says, "Yeah, I'm still like I'll never stop believing." Doc is learning what he has to do to be successful in the NHL. He understands his game, but like, oh, it is Kellebuck. Doesn't have a very nice mask though, does he? He's kind of a backup caliber mask. All right, y'all. We 7:15. We've been waiting. We've been waiting. Hop on the Doc bandwagon. He did. He did stop the first. Yeah, we're hearing "Go Habs, Go" chant tonight. Terrible if you're a Jets fan. So then you're a minute behind us, Mark. I don't know how cheap Doc will be. I mean, Doc, look, he's not going to be like a $7 million player or anything, but I don't know. Could take 4 or 5. I heard a rumor that Luke Shen and Braden Shen would like to be traded to the same team to go on a playoff run together. That would be fun. Honestly, if the price is low, and it should be for those two players at this point in their careers, as depth additions to the Canadians, not the worst idea actually. I don't hate that. Like Luke Shen is the perfect seventh defenseman to have in case somebody gets hurt. You can pop him in there, and Braden Shen gives you a little depth at center. I just don't know if there's any room for them, to be honest. There's room for Luke Shen, but not for not for Braden. Cole Hudson. Where is he in Washington? That's the Washington Hudson, right? The Washington prospect. I think he'll be. I think they're going to be tough to pry him loose. Logan Stanley is a giant. Yeah, and I don't think he's gotten a little better. I don't think he's like that good, but hey, it doesn't hurt to have a big dude in the defense sometimes. 4 minutes in, still only one shot. There hasn't really been a whole lot going on. Valeno trying to do Hudson. I know every so often I see Valeno like really trying to do something with his feet and trying to make some big moves. The junior moves in him sort of kicks in. He doesn't always play a simple game, which he probably ought to at this point. All right, we got a Winnipeg power play here. $5 minutes and not a single shot. Boys think about their upcoming vacay. Honestly, Mark, not a bad move because I was getting some emails about other things at work. So I was like, oh, I could just answer those other emails and nobody would notice. Ooh, Velarde allowed to walk in and and the Canes had a super obvious opportunity to clear and they did not do it. Oh man, Shifley all alone in the dots, man. What an opportunity. Ah, it's 1-0. That was a nice power play by the Jets, I gotta say. Not a good penalty kill by the Habs. Good passing by the Jets, and they really closed in that box. Really moving the puck nicely. Who's that? Velarde, the finisher? No, Connor. Oh, our old friend Connor. Yeah, you can't let Connor. Only his 25th goal of the season, which seems like not a lot for Kyle Connor, I will say. This truly is a one-line team, by the way. The Velarde, Shifley, Connor. There's really not much else going on in this team. Niederreiter might chip in a goal every so often, but hello, Pimfash. Welcome back. I don't know if it's coaching or whatever, but our PK is beyond pathetic. We just sit in the tight box and don't pressure and never clear the puck. I was curious because you said this, and I was like, oh, where does the team rank? They're currently 27, entering tonight because they obviously just gave up a goal and they haven't recalculated the stats, but they are 27th on the PK this season. Meanwhile, they're 7th on the power play. So it is a tale of two special teams right now. So yeah, they are indeed 27th, and it's not good, which is not good at all. I think Dano got a secondary assist on that. It's funny. Mark has been pretty like adamant about Dano not being very good since he got back, and I was kind of like, hey, he's like pretty good. But now I'm kind of starting to veer in the not so good. I will say. I do feel like his lack of foot speed. Hey, we got a 2-on-1 for the Jets here. Executed perfectly, but what a save by Montembeault. Huge save by Montembeault on the 2-on-1. Man alive. Guys, shots are 8-0 Jets right now. Shots are 8-0 Jets. What the fuck is going on right now? This game is... It's the last game before the break. Don't send me to the break angry, guys. Here, I'll get into some of your comments here. Genoa's supposed to help with draws. Has been terrible. He's been good on the draws, but he's hasn't helped with, as you said, the power play draws. Not that he's been... Well, he's been... In that other play where he was supposed to be a face-off, get-off guy, and he just stayed on. But it's definitely his foot speed is the big issue. See the Sabres blow that lead last night? I didn't. I did not watch that game. Mark says, I've been screaming for years about how I hate the PK. We stand still. We wave the stick around and hope for the best. We need a more aggressive PK. And Pinfash says, whether you PK or PP, you can bet money we will lose the face-off. Herminio says, hey, Habs are in vacation mode already. Ugh, kind of looks like it, eh? Ryan says the same. They're already on the break. Mark says, I hate it when I look forward to a game all day and then they come out like this. I know, eh? Ooh, nice little chance here in the offensive zone for the Habs. Well, the Habs did get their two little shots. Yeah, there was nothing the Rangers could do about Panarin. Panarin put him in a hard place. Nice get for the Kings, though. Homa Hoshalaga says, we got 2.5 periods to go. Let's put the PP the brakes. Let's just get going. Rangers got nothing. Yeah, they really didn't. Oh, let's pump the brakes. There you go. That makes a little more sense. Yeah, the Rangers got nothing. I think at this point it's pretty clear that Panarin wanted to go to the Kings. So even if the Habs offered more, wow. Was that Connor again? Just absolutely ripped one off the post there. There are not many players in this league that I would say have a better shot than Cole Caulfield. But Kyle Connor is one of those guys. There's just some. His shot is so. There's no other way to describe it but just like heavy. Like it. It's a. He doesn't look like he puts a lot into it, but man, is it hard. What a shot that guy has. Hey, Slavkovsky goes in. And he puts it in Shen's skates. Had a chance to cut inside, but kind of ran out of some momentum. But there's Habs are still on it, and Demidov with a chance in the slot. Oh, it was Demidov to Kapanen for the shot. Boys are on the beach in Cancun already. I wish. I wish I was, I should say. I mean, the second line's having a nice shift there, but didn't get a chance. Wow. I was talking about the lack of secondary offense, but Niederreiter and Nemesnikov, two of the most secondary offense kind of guys I've ever seen, nearly team up for a goal there. Montembeault had to make a great save. I like Struble over Arbor. Arbor has looked bad the last couple of weeks. Blue, I think you are in the minority here. All Winnipeg at this point. They already got 10 shots. That was a 2 minute 12 shift for Slavkovsky. Not fun. Better shut down these 2-on-1s quick for sure. Montembeault? Montembeault's in his Montembeault so far. Hey man, this game, he's looking good tonight. Already has 10 saves. We're still in the first period. Busy man. Well, Montembeault stops the bleeding there. He covers up the puck, but man, all Jets, all Jets so far. Mark says one of the worst first periods I remember in quite some time. Yeah, the Habs usually pretty good in the first period. Not tonight. Not a good first period tonight. This team needs a big Xhekaj hit to wake us up. Well, the only thing that he's hitting tonight is the snack bar, I think. Hitting the hot dog cart tonight. That's all. The only thing he's gonna be hitting. Dominated, but we have Struple. Exactly, exactly. Bob says Monty's the only bright light for the Habs so far. He's holding us in. Monty's plays encouraging, Arminio says. Max says, nice play by Doc to shoot it into the offensive zone corner. He's looking good tonight. Hey, the corner is the only good thing that it's as close as the Habs have gotten so far tonight. Oof. Showing the replay of that Connor shot that hit the post. Yoicks. And then Niederreiter with a great shot. No steamies in Winnipeg, I don't think. I think they probably grill their hot dogs, no? I don't know anything about Winnipeg hot dog culture, but I'm going to guess they're not steamed. Xhekaj's having a beer and a steak at La Belle et la Boeuf. I gotta say, I don't mind. I know it's like a chain. I don't mind La Belle et la Boeuf. It's all right. Good. If you like a big, like one of those big cocktails. It's like a cocktail. You know what I mean? It's like a giant margarita kind of thing, and a burger. You could do a lot. This no one advertises on this thing. I wish somebody would. Nobody does. But I don't. I'm okay with Belly LaBeouf. You know what? I live near Notre Boeuf de Grasse, so I'm gonna like hit up kind of a chain, like a local chain burger. Notre Boeuf's probably the guy. I also live near not to derail this and make this burger talk, but Burger de Ville I also live nearby, and we'll frequent Burger de Ville. Montembeault, another save and another cover up with Niederreiter kind of hanging on top of him. So busy man. And they got to go to another commercial break because you never know. You love steaming fries from LaBelle Provence. Yeah, that's a good one. Depends which one. Sometimes they're not that good. I will say. Got to go to the right one. The one to carry is kind of decent. Am I looking for a sponsorship? I'm not looking for a sponsorship. Maybe I should. I'm not. I'm not, and I am. No, I haven't. I have done nothing to look for a sponsorship. I've put no effort so far. The Gazette uh, has not. We are not sponsoring our YouTube endeavors, but maybe we should sponsor our YouTube endeavors. It's a conversation. It's a conversation for the higher ups. No, it's not a conversation for me. Karen Momeso's closed. Momeso's doesn't exist anymore. It closed last year, 2 years ago. I'm sorry to say. I was the last guy there, actually. I ordered, and then they ran out of food. And then that was the last day. They were going to stay open for another week, but they just ran out of everything. So sad to say, yeah. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, Karen, if you didn't already know. Why not have I not looked for a sponsor? I don't know. It's not like in the newspapers. Like it's true. The newspaper like sells ads. So like it's kind of natural to buy ads, but for some reason we have not like gotten sponsors for like our Hockey Inside Out or corner booth. It's like not something that we've been like actively doing, but maybe we should. I like money. I like more money. The Orange Julep. I live near the Orange Julep. As you guys know, I live in Côte Saint Luc. Used to live in NEG. So this is all my turf. I do love Orange Julep. What does Sergio do now? I'm not too sure. I know that they do sell some of Messo's products in the grocery store. They make like some little sauce, like little Italian sauces and things. Quick Vash says, quick analysis. We don't shoot. Our neutral zone defense is non-existent. Jets are waltzing in easily. The intensity is low. Let's hope we turn around. Jets prime to add another before the end of the first period. Well, you don't know. That part of that's an analysis, and part of that is a prediction. So we'll see if the prediction comes true. But Max agrees. And Mark says the guys going to the Olympics don't want to get hurt. And the guys going to the beach are playing not to get hurt. Well, it's 1-1, so look at me talking. Who's that? Kapanen? You guys have been ye of little faith tonight. I know it was tell me a terrible start. What's going on? Kapanen just banged home the rebound. So Dobson with the initial point shot. Hellebuck gives up a god awful rebound, and Kapanen's there to tap it in. So that comes with 3:34 left in the period, and the Habs had already given up 13 shots in this period. So definitely a welcome surprise. 18 goals for Oliver Kapanen this year. Just like you guys all predicted, right? I certainly didn't predict that. If you had told me at the beginning of the season Oliver Kapanen was going to have a job and get 18 points, I'd be like, great. Sounds like a good season for a rookie. I'll take it. Oh, Connor, what a wraparound. We got a whistle here. What about? What about? Hey. They were also saying that potentially Gooley was going to go off too, but nope, it's just Nyquist, and yeah, not bad. Seventh best power play in the league. Off we go. Habination says I predicted 27 goals for Kapanen at the beginning of the season, or points. Do you mean points or points is a good? That's a good prediction for points. But man, you predicted 27 goals. Yo, there are some seasons where were there even any Habs that scored 27 goals, let alone a rookie. Lots of puck bouncing around, and Hudson's got a double back. So that's the first rush on the power play. Didn't result in anything. Suzuki was wide open there, but it wasn't a nice pass for him, unfortunately. Ooh, Demidov maybe a touch too clever on that pass. Oh, Caulfield trying from the goal line. That was a really nice try. Adam Lowry, who's, man, what a great player he is. Single handedly killed about 30 seconds of that power play. Only crazy person would have said 27 goals. I don't know. Maybe you were onto something. Maybe you knew. Maybe you knew. Maybe you were the only one who knew that Oliver Kapanen was as good as he's been. Stepping out, you're missing the game. Well, see you, Rick. Come back if at the third beer. We'll be here. Yeah. Well, power play is over. Just as well. Didn't look like they had much going on. Bummer. Hey, Ray. He said Kapanen can get close to 30 goals and not really get a serious look for Calder. I know. What a crazy season it's been for the rookies. The rookies have. There's some really good rookies this season. So we got 25 seconds left in the period. Oh, Matheson broke in. Had a nice chance, but had the puck, had his stick lifted, I think, at the last second there. Evans trying to be a single-handedly score here on the PK with 10 seconds to go, but first period over. Pretty impressive period. Starting off terribly, but actually managing to get back in it. It's tied 1-1. Kapanen, your goal scorer, and Kyle Connor for the Jets, of course. Are you guys surprised that it was 13-11 shots in the end after the way things started? So are you surprised? Homo Schlaga says no. Kelly says much better finish the last 7 minutes. Karen's a little bit surprised. Ryan says very fortunate to be tied. Doc must have been practicing that dump into the offensive zone for some time. He's really got it down. I mean, he should, in theory, be very good at the dump in. He's got a big body. He can move when he's moving like in a straight line. He's like pretty. He's got decent speed in a straight line. So dumping it in and using his body behind the net, not a bad strategy for him. Okay, Bob says the Habs started waking up with about 5-6 minutes left. Let's hope they bring more intensity in the second. Non-Canadiens news: Anthony Calvillo will be calling the plays this year. He's not the coach though, is he? You're just saying he's the. What's What's the news with Calvillo? Oh yeah, look at that. That's fun. So it looks like the Leafs, not the Habs, will get McKenna. Well, I don't know who's going to get McKenna at this point. Not a. If you guys missed it earlier, he's been charged with 4 counts, including aggravated assault for an incident in Pennsylvania where he's playing right now. So we shall see. Yeah, Calvillo's the offensive coach. That's fun. I like it. All right, that's my question for you guys. Is the break coming at a good or bad time for the Habs? I actually think it's actually not coming at the greatest time. They seem like guys are getting back. They're like kind of healthy. It's probably coming at a good time for like Montembeault, but I don't know. Team's actually playing pretty well right now. I don't know if it's the best time. I think other teams are reeling a little more, but I could be wrong. Ryan says it's a good time for our overtaxed defense. I don't know. They seem pretty like they're in pretty good shape. Max says they're coming at a good time though. Bob says he's selling off his autographs. You're downsizing. Damn, 69 Expos. OJ, you have an OJ? Belleville Rocket. Well, I hope they go to some nice homes that deserve some nice cards like that. And I hope that you sold OJ to somebody who's not some freak. But yeah, I hope you feel liberated by having less things around, and then I hope that those who buy them appreciate what they've bought. In the end, it's just stuff, right? Cool stuff though. Cool stuff. Max says, I don't like the passive style of the Habs play. It will not bode well in the playoffs. No, they need to get a little. Uh, they need a little more juice in the playoffs, I think. Homa Hashlaga says, coming at a good time, especially to reset. Yeah, I mean, it like a break is always nice, but I feel like I don't know if like I mean I think the break is probably really bad for like Buffalo, uh, who are red hot, right? So like Buffalo, I'm sure is bemoaning the break. Columbus finally just got their shit in order. I'm sure they're not happy about going on a break. Like those are teams that are definitely like, no, 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 let's keep going. We got the momentum. But the Habs have been playing well, but they're not like I think totally where they need to be. As Max said, they need to not be so passive. Karen's got Reggie Houle's autograph. I've got a few Habs autographs. I found a Patrick Waugh autograph actually. I was going through some storage. Uh, where did I put it? Is it here? I don't remember where I put it. Somewhere in my pile, somewhere in my work pile. Habination's got an Expos ball. that he could not part with. Nah, keep your hey, if you can keep your stuff, keep your stuff. Stuff's great. If you want it, of course. Miss the Expos. I do too. I do too. I am a an avowed Giants fan, but I am also a huge Expos fan, of course, and I still love baseball. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of Expos fans are pretty bitter, are still pretty bitter about baseball, but I still love baseball. Bob says I couldn't part with my Jesse Owens autograph. No, don't part with that. Keep the Jesse Owens autograph. Man, that's amazing. I can't believe you have a Jesse Owens autograph. And it's the Olympics coming up. Not the summer games, but the winter ones. That's very cool though. Karen used to go to Jerry Park to watch the Expos in the 60s. I had the pleasure of playing at Jerry Park, baseball at Jerry Park this summer, and the significance of it was not lost on me. Now, granted, I was playing beer league baseball and I was playing like crap. That wasn't too bad, actually. I shouldn't say that. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, it was kind of crazy to be like, oh man, this is like pretty much right near the spot where the Expos used to play. Mark says, I'm the most bitter Expo fan in existence. I hate the Jays. Yeah, I'm not a Jays fan either. Only reason why I was rooting for the Jays in the World Series was because I hate the Dodgers even more. Homo Hochelaga, too, bitter. Having them go so well before the strike. I know the what might have been. What might have been. Mark hates them. Well, if it's any consolation, I don't know. I don't really like their off season. I don't think they got. I don't necessarily think they got that much better. I don't think they got any better in the off season. Not that the Yankees are. But I think Baltimore got better. I think Baltimore should be better next year in that division. We'll see. Karen saw stood beside Andre Dawson back in the day. Saw him this fall honored by the Alouettes. He was much smaller. Yeah, I got. I. You know what? I do actually have an autograph from Andre Dawson. He was not happy to give it to me, but it was at an autograph event that he was paid to be at. So I don't know. Mark says, I can't recall any more crushing loss in any sport in the history of sports than the Game 7 Jays loss. I actually felt badly for them just a bit. I mean, baseball is good for that, right? What about the Red Sox in '86 against the Mets? Bill Buckner going the ball going through the legs. That was a team that hadn't won in almost 100 years at that point, or like 80 years, 70 years at that point. The Jays at least had won in the '90s. Hard not to be a Habs fan with all that winning. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of you guys came up when the Habs were, the dynasties were going. So I know your expectations are high for good reason. I was actually an Expos fan first, and then a Habs fan. Yeah, I would probably argue the same. I didn't play a lot of hockey when I was a kid. I played baseball when I was a kid. So, and Mark says you can't hate the Jays. Yes, he can. This is a Jays hating zone. Karen hugged Sheldon Surrey once, and he's a man mountain. I believe it. That guy looks like a giant. Good Hab. Good Hab. Good times. Mark grew up a Tigers fan, having been born in Windsor in 1960. Spent the day with Beliveau at a corporate event. Autograph your book. Strength Down Center by Hugh Hood in 3 different places. Oh, that's cool. I like Tigers. I like the Tigers. That's a good team to be a fan of. That's like old school. They're like an old school baseball franchise. I like them. I wish they spent a little more money this offseason. The Tigers are one of those teams. Everybody complains about the Dodgers spending insane amounts of money on their team. And even the Jays spent a lot. They signed a couple of guys. But then there's teams like the Tigers where you make money, you're in a pretty big market, you have the best pitcher in baseball. Like spend a little bit of money. Come on. Come on, give your team a chance. You're in the worst division in baseball. Like you should walk away with that division. Terrible. Tigers should spend more money. Hudson should be on standby. Charlie McAvoy just got elbowed in the head. Really? Oh shoot. Karen says they didn't have any sports for girls when I was young. Well, that's too bad. Play some baseball if you can. Go hit the batting cages. It's fun. Mark says baseball salaries are out of control. It's insanity. It's true. I mean, it's true. There's some salaries that are very exorbitant. But the thing about baseball that annoys me is that like there's some teams that spend so damn much, and then there's so many teams that don't spend anything, and I'm equally mad at both of them. Yet I'm not an advocate for a salary cap in baseball, if that makes any sense. But maybe there ought to be. Karen Rooney says, did Search break his legs twice? Once on the net. It didn't release in those days. I don't know. I mean, I'm aware of the like very specific incident. I don't know how many times Search broke his leg. If anybody has any insider knowledge about that. Yeah, he did. He broke his leg twice. You played hockey, and 1 year your goalie was a tomboy. Yeah, that was common, I think, back then, right? Yeah. Oh, you did play baseball. Good. It's a fun game to play. It's the best way to spend the summer, man. That's the thing about baseball. People are like, "Oh, baseball is not the most exciting sport or whatever," and I'm like, "It's not meant to be that. Baseball is meant to be just like you're outside, shagging fly balls. No better feeling. It's more than a sport." Mark's a proponent for the baseball salary cap. I mean, it's made the NHL very competitive. I say that much. All right, we're back for the second period. Got some beanpot projections here. Boston College is the favorite according to Kelly. BU not as strong this year, but they almost always have great games versus each other, especially in the beanpot. Yeah, I've not been following this year. Oh no, you were there at Blue Monday? Ugh, I'd be traumatized for life, Karen, if I was. Traumatized for life. Terrible. So we start the second period with Zach Bolduc still in the box. Uh, so the Jets have a nice chance here to start the period right. They've got a power play for 124. You guys talk about Gavin McKenna yet? Yes, we did, but we'll talk about him again if you'd like. Pretty crazy story coming out of Penn. Okay, big penalty kill for the Habs, guys. That was much needed. Oh, Niederreiter given way too much time and space in the slot there, and he uncorked a very nice shot, but Montembeault made the save. But you don't like to see the Habs give up shots like chances like that off the rush. But Montembeault still having a solid game tonight. With felony charges, Al says he won't get drafted at all. Just got $700,000 on NIL money to play for Penn State, and now it goes to lawyers. Yeah, not a great situation for him. I mean, we've seen in the NHL they're still going to draft. Somebody's going to draft him, but I would imagine his teams in the lottery are going to look at him a little differently. Oh man, Hellebuck with a huge giveaway, and Caulfield cannot take advantage. Karen asked if we got any Super Bowl predictions. Not gonna lie, I hate the teams in the Super Bowl this year. I mean, I legitimately hate the Patriots. I can't stand them, and I'm nonplussed about the Seahawks. I don't care much for them. So I'm not as excited. And I don't even have like too many friends that are fans of either. Like if the were in or the Eagles were in, I got lots of friends who are fans of those, so I could at least like enjoy it by association. But man, not excited about the Super Bowl at all. I'm excited about the snacking. Not with the felony charge. Well, I mean, it's true, right? If the felony charge, you could get. They said he could get 20 years. I'm gonna assume, Al, that that's not gonna happen. But I suppose we might not know by the time the draft happens. Like if we don't know his legal status by the time the draft happens, it could be definitely complicated. Oh, Al's Broncos fan. Yeah, I don't like the Broncos. I would have been cool with them. Steve Frost, a Bad Bunny fan, or at least thinks that Bad Bunny's gonna be the winner. He won the Grammy, right, for best album. Good for him. I'm a fan. I like Bad Bunny a lot. Montembeault seems alert. Oh, you're Al Wilson. You're named after the Bronco. I thought that was your name, and I thought you were calling yourself the man, which is all right if you want to. You might be the man, but oh no, you're in tribute to a Bronco player. Gotcha. Oh, it's like I was like, is he all right? Yeah, no, he broke his Kapanen broke his skate blade, and he's got to slide his way on back to. That's funny. Oof. Yeah, I just watched the elbow on McAvoy. Yikes! Scary play. All right, top line set settling in the offensive zone here. I was like, can Hudson get out the zone? Not quite. Now the Jets are in the zone, but Montembeault again, man. He's not wasting time. He's covering up the puck, which I like. I do find that I sometimes have that problem with him where he tries too often to bat the puck to his line mate. And sometimes I'm just like, you know what, just cover up. Although, again, we've talked about the face-off issues. Oh, the defensive zone face-off, not a huge issue. All right, nice face-off win by the Jets here. Man, Bolduc got dumped. No penalty call, but I'm not quite sure what exactly happened there in the first place. Definitely saw him wipe out. Man, really nice give and go between Evans and Veleno, but Connor Hellebuck, man, he does not give you a lot of space. I thought they did a great job there, but you could tell that he was square to the shooter, and they just like couldn't find any opening. What are Montembeault's home and away stats? Oh, let me get that for you. That I can probably find. Hey, hold on. No, they didn't quite win the offensive zone faceoff. No, they did. They won the. I mean, kind of a battle. It looks like it's Anderson on the tip. Wow. I mean, if you're the Jets, man, how are you feeling right now? I mean, you're coming out striking, that's for sure. But they almost scored right there. But man, the Jets came out firing, got the early lead, dominated most of the first, and now they're losing 2-1. And they're not even playing that badly. Oh, a nice little icing. Just waiting for the assist to come on here until before I update you with the goal. It still says unassisted, but we all know that that's not the case. Okay, hold on. So Monty at home. And then Hudson scores. Hudson makes it 3-1. Hey, bye. I don't really understand how he scored there. He was on such a sharp angle. All right, hold on. It took me like 5 minutes to type this out. But you guys wanted to know the Montembeault splits. Here are the splits. I mean, I think Hellebuck is going to be the starting goalie for the U.S., no? Two goals in a minute 16. Oh. Nope. Karen says, "Can we please stop insulting the Habs now?" I don't know. Maybe we should continue because maybe it motivated them. Everybody, I I fully understand they played a bad. Most of the first period, they were very bad, and I understand why everybody was like, "Nah." But I think we do need to like pump the brakes sometimes a bit on the like when they have a bad period, they're not like a bad team. Just like when they dominate Colorado 7-2 or whatever, it doesn't mean they're better than Colorado. Oh, really nice 2-on-1. The Habs almost scored again there. Like the Habs are very clearly a good team. They're like a good team. They're not a great team, but they're. But they got issues. They're not perfect. Highlight reel goal. Timur says, "Yeah." By the way, hello. It was 7-3 at 7-3 Habs over the Avs, right? It was 3 goals. Yeah, but you know what I mean. The Habs are probably never as bad as we sometimes say, and they're probably never as good as we sometimes say. That's how it goes. Okay, I mean they're saying the Anderson goal was unassisted. Kind of weird to me, but sure. By the way, somebody who's definitely I think heard the criticisms. Josh or not Josh Anderson, Brendan Gallagher has I think played a little better of late. If McAvoy's concussed, Hudson might get a call. It's possible. Whereas whereas Mark says, I hope Hudson doesn't get a call. Needs a break. Al says Hudson should be on US and Bouchard Schaefer should have made Team Canada. Kelly says McAvoy's playing. Okay, so he survived the big elbow. That's good. I would not want anyone to get hurt right before the Olympics. That would suck. Armenia says, "Hey, remember when that days when the Habs would be down a goal and the game would be over?" Yeah, yeah. There was an entire decade where the team was like, "Well, we have to score first, and if we don't score first, we're screwed." Pushalaga says, keep Galley because we need a guy like him for the playoffs. Yeah, he's still man, every time we count him out, he shows it's not done yet. McAvoy's a tough guy. Of course he's back playing. Another guy who would look great in a Habs uniform. I gotta say, I cannot imagine a lifelong Bruin like that. Who's is he? Where is he from? Is he from Massachusetts? I mean, he went to school there, right? He's from New York, but he went to Boston University. That's why. I would put Charlie McAvoy in the rank of guys who will probably never suit up for the Habs unless they have nowhere else to go. Habs have the youngest roster. Blue says, "Is it Buffalo or them? Whatever. It's they're a young team. No doubt about it." Drew Doughty has 4 points in his last 20 games and is a minus 14. Say what you want about experience, but he is looking washed. Only reason why he's on the team is because he and Crosby are chasing what is it, five Olympics or something like that, 4 or 5 Olympics. So only reason why he's there, which fair enough. I gotta ask: are you guys excited about the Olympics? Are you gonna be watching? Are you guys? I mean, I know you guys are gonna be watching the hockey for sure. But do you guys watch other stuff? Do you watch the bobsled and the figure skating and all that? Are you guys big Olympics fans? Let me know. I noticed Lowry on the PK earlier. He was killing a penalty earlier. It looked good. But yeah, let me know if you guys are watching the Olympics. What the plan is. Max is not. Strangely, I'm not. That's okay. You don't have to. I'm not. I. You know what? I'm not excited about the Olympics, but then I will admit that when they start, I do end up just like, you kind of get hooked, and you're like, oh, there's events literally happening all day. You can just have the TV on. Ryan says, I'll watch any event Canada's a contender to medal. Yeah, exactly. Once like Canadian athlete does well, it's like, ooh. Blue loves the Olympics for everything, not just hockey. Same with Kelly. He says not just hockey. Mark loves the Olympics as much as he hates the Jays. 4 teams to cheer for in Milan and one against. Mark watches 24/7. Al watches it all. Yeah, because it's just on. There's like always events. And if there's not events, there's like, oh, here's the luge event that you missed earlier today if you want to watch it. And you're like, okay, great. I'll watch luge now. It's awesome. It's just like constant entertainment. You watch 12 hours a day on CBC, Karen says. Have done since the 70s. I watch Paralympics too. They're even better. Yeah, Paralympics are also great watching. It's just great watching. And honestly, CBC does such a great job every year. That's like, you know, like when people always talk about the public broadcaster, but like with the Olympics, like that's a moment when you're like, man, I love that we've got the public broadcaster on this, and they're like putting so much time and effort into that thing. It's amazing. Ryan's into the Canadian sports. The Canada always dominates short track, speed skating, and ski cross. Homo Schlager loves loving the bobsled. Yo, I think the Jamaicans qualified this year. It makes it even funner. There's also a bunch of apps that show absolutely everything, like it's just on your phone all day. Oof, addictive. Everything is pre-taped. Mixed double starts tomorrow. Al loves downhill skiing. Downhill skiing's fun. I hear the mountain's really nice too. I hear it's like very high. Like it's a very steep one. So it's gonna be super crazy. Does Montembeault have a new mask? I'm bad at remembering masks, but I swear to God, it looks a little different. It looks weird, eh? Ooh, nice try by the second line there. Karen's down with curling. I love curling. Blue grew up with Pat Anderson, the best wheelchair basketball player ever. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's another thing. Like all the Olympic athletes, right? They're just like folks in the community. I mean, they're folks in the community with special abilities that we do not possess, but still. All right, it's 3-1 Habs, second period. 7:15 to go. Habs started off this game very slowly. At one point, losing 1-0 and down 8-0 in shots, but they've since taken the lead and are now only 3 back in shots. It's 23-18 for the Jets. I mean, all Habs right now, and it's not the line that you'd be thinking of. Ooh, puck kicked up in the air though. Now the Jets get a three. Not a 3-on-2. It's a 3-on-3. Anyways, they're offside. Don't matter. I can't watch that climbing guy. It makes you too nervous. Do you mean the guy who climbed the side of the building in Taiwan? That guy? Yeah, that's pretty wild. Yeah, buddy who climbed the Taiwan Tower is the best athlete I've ever seen. I've watched all his solo climbs. Totally nuts. Yeah, that guy's crazy. Steve Frost says apparently Lindsey Vaughn will compete at 41 years young. Not only that, she tore her ACL. Yeah, with the torn ACL. She tore her ACL a week ago. But like she's never going back, right? She's not going to play. She's not going to go in 4 years at 45. So she's just like got to grin and bear it with a torn ACL. I can't imagine she's gonna be very good, but I don't know. She's a beast, Lindsey Vaughn. So we'll see what happens. Armenia says the Jets are starting to look a little tired. Karen says I'd win the gold medal for knitting. Knitting's good. My wife does a little bit of knitting. She enjoys that. Yeah, it's funny. I just had a buddy tell me, he's like, man, he's like, it's just me or the Jets already looking slow and tired. Yeah, they're not very good. Yeah, the Jets are starting to look like the Jets, actually. I don't know what happened to the Jets, guys. They were so good last year. Guys, riddle me this. What the heck happened to the Jets this year? They were so good last year. Now they're terrible. What the heck happened in Winnipeg? Curious to know if you guys have been following the Jets a little more than I have and get it. Did they just get old? Is that really did Father Time come for the team? I think they've just hammered away at the depth over the years. Maybe the coach lost the room. Yeah, that's. I mean, they had their success with Bonus, right? And Bonus is gone. Karen says they look tired. Must be all the traveling they're doing. No, the Jets are at home. Yeah, exactly. What's the excuse? Al says losing Ehlers didn't help. Yeah, they just never gave that guy respect, man. I feel like Jets fans always kind of wanted him out. They were always dangling him in trades, but and he's not very good in Carolina, to be honest. But I think they definitely shortchanged him. Bob says Taves didn't make a difference. Yeah, you know what? It would have been a great comeback story if he had come back and played well. But I'm afraid not. Homa says, well, Hellebuck got hurt. Yeah, that was a huge one. Taves' retreat in the ashram didn't work. Well, it helped him in life. It helped him. He was like sick in life, so he's healthy enough that he can play hockey. So I'm gonna shout out the ashram here that he went to go to, but it didn't make him a good hockey player, unfortunately. So I'm gonna go hit the ashram, but it's not gonna make me a good hockey player. But it might make me feel better. Might get rid of my nagging cough that never doesn't seem to go away. But I think a humidifier would probably also just do that. It's very dry in my apartment. We did score 2 goals in the second period. It's 3-1. That did indeed happen. Kelly says no secondary scoring. Yeah, they're a one-line team for sure. Kat says Montembeault look very good. Yeah, he's up to 23 saves tonight. Very nice. Monty's best game in a long time, says Mark. And the Canadiens have supplied him with a little bit of offense too, which is nice. It's 3-1 Canadiens if you're unaware. With 2:30 to go now in the second period. Puck is behind the Habs net. Hudson's looking to break out here. Karen says, got to give some credit to the new goalie coach. I mean, so far so good, right? Mm. Velarde tried to split the D and he almost succeeded. Oh yeah, Cole for Perfetti, man, he's having a brutal season. See, that was the guy that they were like, oh yeah, he's gonna replace Ehlers. We don't need Ehlers anymore, and Perfetti has not done it. Villardi wiped out in the most hilarious of fashions. He's all right. It's just funny to watch. Bob Taylor says, I've been watching our D-men in front of the net tonight. We don't take out anyone. I don't understand why Jaden Strubal's not better at it. Jaden Strubal, by most metrics, is possibly the strongest man in the NHL. His NHL combine numbers are like insane. He's an incredibly strong person. He's really bad at knocking guys out in front of the net, and I don't really know why. It's like the one thing you should be working on. It just seems like his feet are always kind of in the wrong place. Marco Marciano, breath of fresh air for sure. One last rush here with 3 seconds. Nothing happens. Second period over, man. And the Habs have a 3-1 lead. Yeah, seriously, where is Harry? He sometimes comes in late in the games. He might come in. Okay, guys, here's my question. Here's my intermission question for y'all. Who has the better team in the Olympics? Canada or USA? Okay, I'll be back in 1 sec. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Mark says, I will not be able to recover if the U.S. beats us. Harry did come back to tell us about the dreaded 2-goal lead. Just got back from triathlon training at the Legion. That's pool, darts, and shuffleboard. Those are my kind of sports. I like it. I used to love darts. I used to like watch darts when I was like, I don't know, like this is like 1920 or something, and I was like, man, I'm at the bar enough. Maybe I can become a professional. Maybe what would it take to become a professional dartboard guy, dart player? That goes to show you how close I got. I don't even think I could beat the other losers at the bar. That's how bad I was. And don't even get me started on pool. Not very good at pool either. Kelly says USA. Fighting words. Oshlaga says, sports wise, I'd say 50-50. US, since politics, sports uses a political tool, I expect the US to win. I don't know about I don't know if the powers that be are that invested in the results of the hockey game, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think it's just easier to just let the game happen. Karen says, just saw the 2 goals. Anderson deflected the shot. How can that be unassisted? How did Lane Hudson do that? No, wait. They added assists on the hold on. Forget what I said earlier. They added the assists on the Anderson goal. It's Struble and Gallagher are the assists. So Gallagher has 2 assists tonight. Gallagher has 2 assists tonight. Unbelievable. Harry asks, has Montembeault come around? You guys let him know what you think. Mark Riom loves the Legion. Family was members at Branch 251 in Windsor. Dad was in the Battle of Laping in Korea. Princess Patricia's 2nd Battalion. That's cool. Shout out to the Legion. I know that the Legion's here. They're like definitely struggling to get members. So if you can be a member at the Legion, you should sign up. To be honest, keep the tradition alive. You know. Karen played some darts with a bunch of hunky firemen. Were they good at darts? I bet they were. Wish it was snooker, darts and snooker. Oh, you guys got snooker, you snooker people. Do you guys play? Do you guys know crokinole? Do you like crokinole ever? How do you spell that? Crokinole players. Is that how you call the game? Crokinole. Am I spelling that correct? I sure am spelling it correct. Crokinole. Buffalo plays the Penguins. Their last game tomorrow. That's a big one. Anyways, I think Canada's got the slightly better team this time around. I think picking Miller and Krocek, who are having pretty like down years. But hey, they're talented players. You never know. You never know what they're capable of. Kelly Morgan says the Panthers are beating the Bruins 4-2 late in the second. Keep the Bees further behind in the standings. Yeah, they're like a little step below the Habs, and there's like a bunch of teams kind of in that glut, like the Leafs and the Panthers. I think are getting back into it. The Sens might get into it. By the way, I was curious to know, um, how would you grade Josh Anderson's season so far? I think he's had an interesting season, I gotta say. He's got to lead the team in hits. I assume so. No, he's fourth in the team in hits. But he's got 12 goals. Kind of an interesting guy. Al says the Bruins metrics are brutal. I see them fading after the Olympics. Yeah, I don't think they've quite got the horses to get into this playoff race. It's tough, honestly. It's pretty tough to get. I know sometimes these teams are like 5 points back, but you're 5 points back, and then you've got to like leapfrog a bunch of guys. If we look at it right now, um, Tampa is now pretty like comfortably ahead. The Wings, Sabres, and Habs are battling for those three spots, 2 through 4. The Bruins are only two back of the Habs, so they're still in it. And then the Leafs, Sens, and Panthers are quite a bit behind. I think it's probably done for them. 7 points is a lot to make up if you're the Leafs. But then again, I mean the other division is pretty lousy. Um, wow, the Met division's really lousy. The Pens, who are the second best team in the Metro division, are tied with the Bruins. To give you an idea. Okay, we got some Anderson reviews here. Karen says Andy plays every game. Other than when he was hurt, he just kind of shows up every day. He's definitely become a lunch pail guy. He was brought in as like I don't exactly know what Bergevin's big idea was when he brought him in. I think it was like a true power forward dream, and he has not been that. But Ryan Katz and Anderson has been very consistent. Here, I think Mark's got it right here. Anderson was never the big power forward we hoped, but for a very serviceable third line forward who can score an occasional big goal and is a physical threat. Yeah, that's exactly it. He was brought in with the idea that, oh, he's a second line winger, power horse, power forward. And he's not that, but he's not bad. Anderson works very hard. I like him, but he needs to take fewer penalties. Harry Meach says crokinole was invented in Southwest Ontario, was it? I knew it was very Canadian. Kelly says, still not a fan of Josh Anderson. He could be gone tomorrow. I don't think there'd be any negative effects. My 2 cents. He's fifth on the team in hits behind Xhekaj, Veleno, Bolduc. He's tied with Demidov for fifth on the team in goals. What else are some pertinent stats for Joshy Boy Anderson? He plays no power play. So he's contributing his offense on limited power play. He is second on the team in penalty minutes, obviously behind Xhekaj. Xhekaj's got twice as many. He got 104 penalty minutes in 50 games. Anderson's got 52. He's second. So, and of course he doesn't fight that much, so it is mostly minor penalties. Karen says, "Don't we have a game in hand on Boston?" No, they're the same right now. Both the Habs and Bruins have played 56. Was always hoping he could be a John LeClaire type, and now it looks like perhaps Slavkovsky is maybe more the LeClaire type, and Anderson is more of a I don't know, poor man's Tom Wilson. Poor man's Tom Wilson, I think is probably how I describe it. There's always a team that puts together a hot streak down the stretch. The Habs were that team last year, yeah. Who would be like a good? I think I could see Columbus being that team. I could see Columbus being that team that gets hot and grabs the eighth spot in the playoffs. They got a new coach. It seems like their old coach was terrible and they hated him. So Karen says, I think we're gonna re-sign Anderson at a discount, of course, but he'll take it. I said with Matt when a year and a half ago, I would have said re-signing Matheson was unlikely, and then it became really obvious they're going to do it. It could happen with Anderson too. He likes being here. He knows he's not going to make 5.5 again. Uh, it's possible, definitely possible. Karen asks the question we all ask: why does it always take forever for the season to start? And then before you know it, season's done. So few games left. I know this season has flown by. I can't believe we're 57 games into this season. Unbelievable. What would a Bennett, Marshall, and Wilson line be at the Olympics? It would be scary. Mark says, I definitely think we keep Anderson with a reduction in salary. I can't imagine he wants to go anywhere else, and I think the Canadians will be in a spot where they're always going to want like a big forward like that. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that the fit is there. Karen compares the hockey season to turkey dinner. All that prep and you eat it in 15 minutes. I hear you. Okay, we're back for the third period here. Karen says we're not trading our big guys. Yeah, I think it'd be very hard for them to part. Even the much maligned Arbor Jack guy, I think it will be hard to. You need to give those big guys more time. So Jack guy's young, and then Anderson I think is just a nice player to have, and I think they like his leadership, and I think they like what he brings to the table. All right, we're 3-1 Habs. Third period just getting started here. Your goal scorers tonight for the Habs: Kapanen, Anderson, and Hudson. And then Anderson's got 2 points. So does Gallagher. Dobson trying to send a sneaky shot through traffic there. He's like kind of good at that. He definitely can send a shot through traffic, but I don't know if he necessarily gets the results he's looking for from those. What do we got here? Mark says Gooley's struggling these days. He's not like he's having some big games, but he's like, yeah, he's not totally back there. I will say, not totally back there. You can say Jeffrey Epstein's name. It's okay. We know who he is. You don't have to speak in secret code on this chat. Just don't say anything. Don't say anything offensive. But otherwise, you can talk about Jeffrey Epstein if you want. Kind of. Not too much. Like a little bit. A little bit is a treat. Pimfash says, literally said before the third, the Habs will take early penalty. We really have bad habits when holding leads in the third. But we're holding the lead. And you were not, as pointed out earlier, you were not here earlier when the lead happened, or you didn't say anything. So now you're getting called out, which is how it goes. But the Habs PK's got to be better. No doubt about that. Ooh, Shifley with a shot, and the puck just kind of dribbled through the crease. Hey, Anderson's got a break here. And he walks in and gets a nice shot. Damn. Not bad. Out of curiosity, I checked. The Habs are ninth in the league in face-off percentage, apparently. Harry says the Habs have to stay out of the box. They definitely do. Their PK is not looking great, and the Jets are moving the puck pretty well on the power play. Hey, got a chance here for a 2-on-1, maybe? 3-on-1? Nah, they can't get the play formed. Pimpfash says Anderson's been dynamite since that first period penalty. Nice game so far. It's true. That penalty did kind of jostle him, didn't it? Stepped out of the broom ball game. was a lucky room ball game, I think. Yeah, Montembeault with the 969 save percentage tonight. Crazy. Mark says, I hope they don't sit back and defend. Yeah, I hope so. Now they're back on 5, so they have ample opportunity here to add to the lead. Habs have clearly been the better 5-on-5 team since like that kind of beginning stretch of the game. Oh, Anderson with another chance. Harry says, I hope they learn from the mini game. Yeah, I hope so too. That was a heartbreaker. Ooh, Evans with a nice chance. Boys having holiday thoughts. Not yet. It's a 3-1 lead still. But now the shots are starting to get a little lopsided again. It's 32-21 Jets. And now they're coming up the ice, trying to make a 3-on-2 happen. Struble getting the same time as Arbor, 8:56. This is actually more than what Arbor's been getting lately. It's not going to be offside. Well, whatever. It's out of the zone anyway. IFL kind of caught the puck there. I think it looked pretty offside to me. Whatever. Don't matter. Oh, that Morrissey shot from the point had like an extreme deflection. Caught the goalie going the other way, but the Habs were able to send it up the ice, and there's a good chance. What a save by Hellebuck. Oh my God. He was absolutely beat. Really, really nice play. Big question. Any update on Newhook? None. None as of yet. He's uh skating with the team. He's with the team. He's not practicing, or I don't believe so. I believe the latest on him is not there's not really much of anything. He was skating a little bit this morning. Okay, so the last update was yesterday. Um oh, that's right. David Savard was on the ice with him playing goalie. That's the last update that we have on Newhook. Carrier is the one they need to trade. They have a surplus of players that play his game, and Carrier is easy to push around. Karen would feel a lot better if it were 4-1. Yeah, it's still a shaky lead. It's not an easy lead. Marty doesn't trust Arbor. Can it be any clearer? Armenia says. So not only is it a Habs power play, um, Josh Morrissey's going to the box, and he's their best defenseman by far. So a nice little advantage here. They can trade Carrier in a deal for a right-handed defenseman with more size. It's very hard to find a right defenseman with more size. Very hard. I don't know if they will. Would Radish be a good pickup for next season? God, he's having an insane season. I did not realize he's a point a game defenseman this year. I just, guys like this. If they can stay in Tampa, they'll stay in Tampa. Uh, and I don't feel like Tampa's hard to the cap anymore. So it's funny that Gary Galley. Oh, hold on, it's 4-1. Before we get to making fun of Gary Galley, Gallagher has a 3.9. Gallagher scored on the power play. What the hell universe are we living in? But he's right where he needs to be, right in front of the net. Bolduc kind of shovels it to Doc. Doc finds Gallagher. And that is a massive, massive goal for the Habs. Man, did they need to put some distance in this one, and they did. The Habs are leading by 3 goals with 9:03 to go. Mark asks, why stay in Tampa? It snows. Exactly. No snow, no taxes, man. Hard to compete with that. Karen, you get your 4.41 lead that you're looking for. Kelly Morgan's feeling good. Wow, 3-point night for Gallagher. I think I've done it before. think I've done it before, but I think don't count out Gallagher just yet. Column is coming in tomorrow. Did I see the snow in Florida? No, was it? Did it snow in Florida? I mean, there was like last year, no, or this year? Oh, a little bit of flurries in Florida. Oh no. Oh no. Poor guys. So tough. Habination says we need to go on the break on a winning note. Well, they are 9 minutes away from doing just that. They're up 4-1. Pimfash says, "Hey, the vets came to play tonight. Secondary scoring and good leadership. Great for Galley. You know what? Those guys are the ones who need the break. They're definitely going to appreciate the break, but I think the energy that they brought tonight really good because you're going to need them in the playoffs. You know, we were talking about Anderson and Gallagher. Are they going to be playoff performers for them this year? Because right now it looks good. Right now, look, if they play like they're playing tonight, it's a good sign. Good sign for them. We've got Ole Chance in the house. We do indeed have an Ole Chant. Canadiens fans have traveled well this week. Yeah, they dominated that Buffalo game too. 5-1. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get a fifth goal here. So 7:10 to go here. It's 4-1 Habs. Ooh, Slavkovsky picked it off and tried to send it in front. I mean, now the Canadiens are starting to have some fun. Couple odd man rushes here. Oh, that was a perfect chance for a one-timer pass. Hudson to Suzuki, but the pass was just a little off. Nice try for a Caulfield there. Tried to slip one under. Just noticing all the English ads on the boards on the RDS feed. They normally have French. Are they just picking up the TSN? You know what? I did not notice that. Once we get back from the break, I'm going to notice that. But you're right. It might be because they have the TSN feed. But there's no TSN feed because they're not on TSN tonight. They're on the game's on Sportsnet. Could that be why? Because it's the Sportsnet feed? I don't know. A little strange. Wow, Ryan says the team is second in goals for behind Colorado. That's wild. Yeah, look at that. They passed the Oilers. Mark says Dobson is a beast. What a trade by Hughes. Yeah, Dobson is a pretty remarkable pickup. Guys like that don't get available too often. He's still just kind of getting into his prime too. I know he already got the big contract, but you sort of forget how young he is. But the guy can absolutely move the puck like nobody's business. That's pretty wild. Oh, Gallagher iced the puck. But I'm gonna get cut him some slack here. He deserves a chance to try at that. Yeah, seriously. Oh, I like this idea. Montembeault should try for a goal tonight. Do it. Dano doing well on the dot tonight. Yeah, he's doing the what has he got here? Dano is 69% faceoffs tonight. Oof. Jets trying the sharp angle here. 4:21 to play. There's still a lot of time left. Uh, 34 saves now for Montembeault. Canes are just icing the puck. I don't know if this is the best strategy, but whatever, man. They're just trying to ice it. They're really trying to just let the Jets. Hey, if you think you can score, like go ahead. I too also see the ads in French, but I'm not saying that they weren't potentially in English before. It is possible. Habs ice it again. I mean, whatever, man. 3 minutes left. They have a 3 goal lead. It's all good. Like the Jets, they've got the empty net, but they got to score. Blue says Dano's a great pickup. He won't bring a ton of offense, but if his defensive play is great. I believe Dano fits Montreal's needs more than Dvorak's. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But Dvorak makes $5.5 million now, so I don't want for like many years. He's like a many-year contract. So, how long is Dvorak's upcoming contract? For a lot. So I'll take Dano's 2 years on his deal, but or a year and a half now left, not even. Um, but I don't know. Dvorak's pretty good. A little more offense. I think it's pretty cool that Montembeault and Gallagher are having great nights, man. They've been maybe the most maligned Habs. Oh, Gallagher fighting to get that goal, man. Can he get it? Empty net goal? No, and then they send the puck up to ice. Dvorak is playing on the top line, whereas he'd be the third line in Montreal. Yeah, no, no. I'm not saying Dvorak. Dvorak's a younger player though. I think he's got like a little more juice in him, but anyways. Dano's leadership and playoff experience over Dvorak makes up for the difference in offense. Dano does bring leadership to the team. I will give you that much. Anyways, I think this is a nice story for Gallagher and Montembeault. They've really been maligned all season. They have not played up to their expectations. And they get to go to the break feeling pretty good about themselves. How about Anderson? Another icing. Why not? Why not? Again, the Jets need 3 goals. You can afford to ice the puck. They don't look tired. Ha! Well, Gallagher will not get well, they may have been a little too cute here trying to get the empty netter because now the Jets do have a good chance to potentially score here, but they also were going to have the empty net. So it's going to be 6-on-4, but the Habs now really just get a open opportunity to shoot at the net. All right, puck's down the ice. Can Veleno get it? Veleno be nice if Veleno got a. During the break, I would like the Habs not in the Olympics to practice shooting at an empty net. I know, it could have been 5-1 by now. Nice play by Evans. Okay, we're now in the final minute of play. This is taking much longer than it ought to. But the Habs are still at 4-1. It's an empty net for the Jets. They have a 6-on-4 because Gallagher's in the box. And they are still absolutely trying their damnedest here. And the Canadiens have had, no joke, like 5 or 6, 7 or 8, I don't know, 10 attempts at this empty net, and they have not scored an empty netter. It could be 5-1 right now. We could all be on the beach relaxing, and instead, the Jets are still pushing with 20 seconds to go here. But it looks like the Habs. And the. Okay, there you go. Finally, hit the linesman. But it's Dano who gets it. That took too damn long. By the way, I like how Dano didn't pass it. He's like, I've had enough of this. because he had another guy who was a 2-on-0. Could have dished it, and he was like, "Screw it, we're not dealing." Unreal. That'll go down as a shorthanded empty net goal. It's 5-1. As you guys say, give that man a slice of pizza. Nice effort from the Habs after a slow start. Great game to go into the break with, isn't it? Okay, y'all. I'll see you guys. Look, I'm not going to say we're not going to do a Team Canada one, but they got to be good. I'm not going to do a Team Canada live blog if Team Canada's bad. I don't want to do this if they're like playing Slovakia for 5th place. They got to be good. If Canada's good, I'll pop back in here. If it's another Canada USA final, you definitely believe I'm going to pop back in here. But also, aren't the games at like 8 o'clock in the morning? I don't get up that early. Well, not bad. The Habs enter the break with quite a bit of momentum here. They've won. They've what was it? They're like 4-0-1 in their last 5, something like that. Gold medal game again. If Canada's in, if Canada's not in it, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Dano has 9 points in 21 games in the third line. That is great for a third line center. That's right. That's true. That's totally true. Montembeault kept them in. I know some of the Habs that needed to have good games tonight had good games tonight. It's only 5 hours difference, but they play like in the afternoon. It's weird the schedule. I think they're 3 o'clockers. I think a lot of the games are 3 o'clockers, so that's not so bad. That's actually during my work day. I guess I could technically just count it as regular work and do this. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll follow Team Canada, and if as warranted. Oh no, it's not an unassisted empty netter. Sorry. Anderson gets his 3rd point of the night. Not bad. So he's up to 20 points on the season. That's pretty sweet. Oh, David's down for an afternoon. Okay. Oh yes, he started the live blog. Of course, the Gazette cannot legally be on Facebook. Well, legally, well, anyways, you know how it goes. Get the coffee going, Eric, and get out of bed. Yeah. I'm tired. Anyways, thank you guys so much. If we don't do an Olympic game, I will see you um, after the break. We're gonna go straight on through to the playoffs here. It's gonna be good, man. I think this team is looking pretty solid. I have to say. See you guys after the Olympics. And of course, as always, hidden game coming up on the Montreal Gazette website um, about last night, tomorrow morning. And Hockey Inside Out, you may have noticed there was no Hockey Inside Out today. It's because we're recording tomorrow with Rick Green and Brian Scrudlin because we wanted to encompass this game because we were like, why bother not doing that? And so we're going to record tomorrow. And so that'll be out tomorrow afternoon. So everybody, hope you guys all enjoy that. Ooh, David says it's the best team I've seen in 20 years of being a Habs fan. They are looking pretty solid, I will say. Uh, Al says playoff push, make a big trade deadline deal. Well, they can't get Panarin. Panarin was traded to the Kings today, but there's lots of other guys available. So thank you guys so much. Have a good one. If you want to see the highlights of the game, check out thegazette.com. And yeah,